Hello friends, we're going to continue talking about similar figures today. And today we're going to solve for missing parts of similar triangles. Our standard know and apply properties of geometric figures to solve real world and mathematical problems and to logically justify results in geometry. So remembering what we know about similar figures, corresponding angles are congruent, which means they're the same, and corresponding sides are proportional. So let's look here. They're telling me that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, which means I know that AB divided by DE equals BC divided by EF equals AC divided by DF. So plugging in what we know here, I know AB is 20, DE is X, BC is Y, EF is 44, AC is 30, and DF is 33. So that's what we know here. We need to solve for X and for Y. This is going to be our main proportion, or our main fraction that we're going to be using for both, because we know both the numerator and the denominator. So solving for X first, 20 over X equals 30 over 33. And then remember, we look at cross products here. So X times 30, or 30X, equals 20 times 33. And 20 times 33 is 660. And then solving for X, we'll divide both sides by 30. And we'll get that X is 22. And now we're going to use our 30 over 33 again to solve for Y. So Y over 44 equals 30 over 33. And again, looking at cross products here, Y times 33 is 33Y. 30 times 44 is 1,320. So dividing both sides by 33, we will get that Y is 40. And remember, you can always check your answers by plugging in X and Y. I know that 30 divided by 33 is the same as 10 over 11. Now if I do 20 divided by 22, that is also 10 over 11. And if I do 40 divided by 44, that is also 10 over 11. So again, to check my work, I just plugged 22 in for X to see what that fraction was, and 40 in for Y to see what that fraction simplified to. So get another one here. They're telling me ABC is similar to JKL. So AB over JK equals BC over KL equals AC over JL. Plugging in what we know, we have 9 over 6 equals Y over 4 equals 12 over X. So this is going to be the fraction that we're going to be using to solve both X and Y. We'll start with X. 9 over 6 equals 12 over X. Looking at my cross products here, 9 times X is 9X. And then 12 times 6 is 72. Dividing both sides by 9, we'll get X is 8. And then to solve for Y, 9 over 6 equals Y over 4. Looking at cross products here, 6 times Y is 6Y. 9 times 4 is 36. Dividing both sides by 6, we'll get y is 6. And again, if you want to check your work, we know that 9 divided by 6 is 1.5. So if I look at y is 6, so I can do 6 divided by 4 is also 1.5. And then x is 8. 12 divided by 8 is also 1.5. Let's look at this one. Here we're going to redraw it. So we have a smaller triangle here, triangle GKH. So I'm going to draw that. GKH, and that's 6, and this is X. And then if we look at our bigger triangle, JKL, and if I look at from J to K, this whole thing is 10, because we have 4 and 6, so all of JK is 10. And I know JL is 15. So setting up my proportion here, I'm going to say 6 divided by 10, because those sides are corresponding, equals X divided by 15, because those sides are corresponding. There's many ways you could have done this. I did this with the small triangle on top and the large triangle on the bottom. So solving this one, 10 times x is 10x. 6 times 15 is 90. Dividing both sides by 10, we will get x is 9. And of course, you can check your work. 6 divided by 10 is 0.6, and then 9 divided by 15 is also 0.6. Let's look at one more here. Again, I'm going to redraw these. So I'll have my larger triangle. I know this is 10, and this is 75. This is also 75 because I know those are the same. So this is triangle JKL. And then my smaller triangle, I'm going to draw it so it's facing the same way as my larger triangle. Since I reflected it, I flipped it the other way. This is 1, and this is 1. And they want us to find MN, so I'm going to put an X there. I'm going to do the large triangle on top and the small triangle on the bottom. So 10 divided by x, if I look at my corresponding parts, 10 and x are corresponding, and then 75 and 1 are corresponding. So equals 75 over 1. And then solving this, 75 times x is 75x equals 10 times 1 is 10, and dividing both sides by 75, we would get that as a simplified fraction. If we just put that in our calculator, we'd get 0.1333333, but we need to make that into a fraction, which is 2/15. And you can always put that back in your calculator to make sure that it is equal to 75, and it is. 10 divided by 2/15